this is the 18 WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. Indiana State Troopers from the Jasper Post were busy last year keeping the community safe as they made over 33,000 traffic contacts. The Indiana State Police Bureau was formed as a result of the Executive Reorganization Act of 1933, when then Indiana Governor Paul V. McNutt took 167 state agencies and put them into 8 new departments. In addition, he consolidated the law enforcement bureaus into one agency with Board Law Enforcement Authority. State police with the Jasper Post patrolled over 1.3 million miles last year, while they conducted 3,467 criminal arrests and 1,471 felony arrests in 2017. Besides traffic enforcement, the Indiana State Police are among the nation's finest when it comes to solving crimes. The Indiana State Police began laboratory services in 1936 when the department was just in its 3rd year of existence. Today, the Indiana State Police have 4 regional laboratories located in Indy, Evansville, Lowell, and Fort Wayne. These labs employ over 176 employees, which includes approximately 41 sworn officers and 135 civilians. Restoration was in full swing yesterday as the Astra got even more of its mojo back. Monday morning, crews worked using a crane to place the nearly century-old sign that has been above the Jasper Theater back to its original place after it had been taken down for a full refurbishing. The newly restored sign will now feature bright working neon lights and will continue to mark the entrance of the historic landmark in downtown Jasper. The Astra Theater first opened in April of 1936 and operated as a movie theater until 2002 when it closed. In 2014, the Next Act was formed as a nonprofit to help lead efforts to restore the Astra. As of later that year, Next Act was able to purchase the theater, and as the last few years, they've held fundraisers and have been diligently renovating the space. The grand reopening show at the historic Astra Theater is set for April the 14th and is sold out already. Funding support is still needed to close a financial gap and eliminate or reduce the amount of money that the organization will need to borrow to complete the renovation. A 2018 membership campaign is underway, and while any donation is appreciated. For additional information, including more incentive details, visit thenextact.org. A Jasper man was arrested on Monday afternoon after police responded to a call of domestic battery. Police responded to a Jasper address after a report came in that a female had been punched in the face by a man identified as 32-year-old James Wilms. Police arrived to the location but found that Wilms had already left the area, and then upon further investigation, police determined that a domestic battery had taken place. Officers were able to locate Wilms a short time later, and he was arrested and transported to the Du Bois County Security Center on a Class A misdemeanor charge of domestic battery. Sunday evening, the Indiana State Police Jasper Post responded to an accident involving an impaired driver who, after driving a stolen vehicle, crashed the vehicle into a barrier wall south of Birdseye. 33-year-old Corey Dupin of Louisville, Kentucky, was traveling north on State Road 145 near Borden Hill in a 2006 Chevy Trailblazer when he disregarded 3 INDOT road closure signs before striking a barrier wall head-on, shortly before reaching a bridge that is out of service. Trooper Stephen Nolan said that Dupin appeared to be in an impaired state, possibly on a controlled substance. It was later confirmed that Dupin was indeed under the influence of a controlled substance and did test positive for methamphetamine through a urine analysis. It was also confirmed that he was in possession of a stolen vehicle after police did a check of the Blazer's ID number, which indicated that the vehicle had been reported stolen out of Louisville the same day. Dupin was booked into the Du Bois County Security Center early Monday morning on various charges, which included auto theft, which is a level 6 felony, operating while intoxicated, a controlled substance, and operating while intoxicated are both Class C misdemeanors. Operating while intoxicated and endangering a class, which is a Class A misdemeanor. Over the weekend, Indiana State Troopers Andrew Beaver and Ross Johnson arrested former Martin County Sheriff Deputy Danny R. Solomon, 33 of Shoals, for an outstanding Martin County arrest warrant for dealing a Schedule II and IV controlled substance. Late last year, Martin County Sheriff Travis Roush contacted the Indiana State Police Jasper Post and requested a special investigation after they had received information that Solomon was possibly involved in illegal drug activity. During his investigation, Sergeant Greg Ashby determined that Solomon had dealt hydrocodone and tramadol on multiple occasions during the fall of 2017. After the Martin County's prosecutor office reviewed Ashby's investigation on arrest warrants for Salmon, it was issued for the following charges. He was issued on dealing in a Schedule II controlled substance of 1 count, a Level 6 felony dealing in a controlled substance of 1 count, and a Class A misdemeanor. Salmon bonded himself out of the Martin County Jail with $2,500 in cash. All inquiries regarding his previous employment with the Martin County Sheriff's Department shall be directed officially to the Martin County Sheriff, Roush. Local authorities and numerous emergency crews were called to the scene of a multi-vehicle accident that took place on Monday afternoon at the intersection of State Roads 162 and 64, or commonly known as the Brettsville Junction. The accident took place shortly before 2:30 on Monday and involved 3 vehicles, one of which ended up over a guardrail. A 2002 Chevy Trailblazer driven by 27-year-old Amber Henson was traveling southbound on State Road 162, approaching State Road 64, when a 2013 Toyota, being driven by 20-year-old Natalie Jacob, was traveling west on State Road 64, approaching State Road 162, and finally a third vehicle, a 1997 Mack Triaxle, driven by 51-year-old Stephen Wiseman, was traveling east on State Road 64, approaching the junction as well. Henson, driving the Chevy, failed to stop at the red light, striking Jacob's Toyota, then continuing through the intersection, exiting the road to the southwest and striking a guardrail before coming to rest. Jacob's Toyota was immobile in the intersection, and that's when Wiseman's Mack Triaxle truck was unable to avoid the Toyota and struck the front of the vehicle. The Mack truck continued through the intersection and exited the road, finally coming to rest facing southeast. The Brettsville Junction was closed for about an hour while the accident was being investigated and the scene was being cleared. 2 drivers were transported to Memorial Hospital following the accident as well. With the recent flooding across southern Indiana, residents who saw the need for sandbags to keep floodwaters at bay will now be able to dispose of them beginning on Friday the 9th. Sandbags can be taken to the following areas: the Spencer County solid waste drop-off sites during their normal business hours. You can drop them off at Rockport on Monday through Thursday and Friday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hatfield on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 to 4. Christie on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 6 and Saturdays from 8 to 4. In Evanston, Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 to 4. And while at the drop-off site, empty the sand into the dumpster and put the sandbag into the compactor. If there is a large amount, 150 or more sandbags, contact the EMA office to see if assistance is available. To report damage to your home caused by the floodwaters, you can go to in.gov/DHS, and then you scroll down to the first section in the middle, which will be damage reporting for flooding, February 15th, 2018, and continuing. Click on that link to enter your information. For those who do not have internet access or if you need assistance, you can contact the EMA office at 812-649-6020. If there is no answer, leave a message and you will be contacted as soon as possible. Last month, a tragic mass shooting occurred at a school in Florida, and since then, preventing gun violence has been a renewed topic of discussion nationwide. Here in Indiana, the General Assembly has a number of enacted policies to help protect students and teachers from harm. District 48 State Senator Mark Messmer of Jasper says that Indiana is one of the only 5 states to have a red flag law, which has been in place since 2005 and is now being considered as a model for other states to also follow.
This law gives law enforcement officers the ability to seize firearms from dangerous individuals under court supervision if they believe the person presents a risk to themselves or others, has a mental illness, has a propensity for violence, or is emotionally unstable. This law also includes procedures to ensure law enforcement officers cannot wrongly abuse their ability to seize guns.
Messmer says in addition to the red flag law, a number of safety resources are available for school districts across the Hoosier State.
In 2013, the Indiana General Assembly created the Secured School Grant Fund. This fund allows school corporations, charter schools, and nonprofit schools to receive annual grants for items such as safety equipment and technology, school resource officers, and threat assessments of school property. Over 300 districts have secured $39 million in secured school grant funds since its establishment in 2013.
Indiana is also one of 2 states that requires each school district in the state to employ a certified school safety specialist. The Indiana Department of Education provides annual training in order to properly educate each of these specialists on their duties. In addition, the Indiana State Police have developed a public training program that is nationally recognized, which focuses on active shooter preparedness. Messmer says that schools, businesses, and community groups can request officers to present their active shooter preparedness program to their organization, all free of charge. To request a presentation or to learn more, you can visit www.in.gov/ISP. And Messmer says that protecting students from harm is of the utmost importance and that these resources help guard students and teachers while they are at school and helps to prevent tragedies such as the one in Florida. As always, feel free to contact Messmer's office directly with your questions or concerns. His email is senator.messmer@iga.in.gov and phone is 800-382-9467. And keep it right here, because up next we're going to take a look at your weather summary.